All right, what's poppin', people? Welcome in. This is BabyFoundation.com back here with another video. And today we're going to review every single NFL team going into the second quarter of the season, if you guys know what I mean. So if you guys don't know about this, oh yeah, by the way, before I say that, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. We appreciate about support. Make sure you guys go join the Discord. Very much appreciated. We have a really busy schedule coming up today, and then make sure you guys come back here in a little bit. We're gonna have the NFL Week 7 picks with the subs. That's gonna come out right after this video, so make sure you guys have to stay tuned for that. It's a great week, and I had to take a little bit of time, so that's why I have to get this. I'm gonna get this video out before I get the other one in. But guys, welcome back to another video. Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. Like I said, today we're going to be kind of reviewing every single team off the first quarter. Like, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like every 6 weeks we do a quarter. Like, since there's 18 weeks in this season, you go the first 6 weeks is the first quarter, the second 6 weeks is the second quarter, and the third 6 weeks is the third quarter. Since 6 times 3 is 18, so I hope you guys know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, so we're just going to review every single team, what the record has done, what kind of performances that we've been watching throughout the first couple slated games, and we'll see where they match up right now in the standings. So without further ado, I think you guys know the drill, and let's go through the tier list, unless I'll get fired. If, well, just playing, but you guys know what I mean. So at the top of the tier list, we have the elite teams, then you have the above average teams, we have the decent teams, we have the under par teams. The if you guys haven't been this with the channel, I used this a couple times, but under par means maybe the teams are just, I mean, maybe they could be fixed relatively easy, I should say, but they're just not performing well at the moment. And at the bottom of the tier list, you guys gotta have it, is the horseshit / ass teams. But I went with horseshit because we don't really use that often. So without further ado, let's go ahead and give it to the power rankings. All right, so first team looks like we got here is the New Orleans Saints. This team actually started off high. You know, they since the first 2 weeks, their offense was unbelievable. Now I think they're starting with a whole bunch of injuries, and this team has a 4-game losing streak, not playing as good as they once were. This team is still capable of being decent, but for right now, I'm gonna say under par, because they're just a 4-game losing streak they have been going on. They just haven't been performing like the Saints football that we've seen the previous 2 weeks in this season. I know they looked really good the first 2 weeks of the season, so that's why I can't say horseshit, because I don't think this team is ass. But just the way how they performed right now off this 4-game losing streak, you know, they didn't really beat a lot of good teams. Here in the resume, they beat the shit out of the Panthers, and I think and who else did they beat the shit out of? They beat the Panthers pretty bad, and they beat the Cowboys pretty bad. But besides that, they haven't really had a convincing 4 losses performance after that. So definitely an under par team there. Next up, we got the Jets. Jets are just, I don't know, man. I mean, they are 2-3. They're not playing as good as they once were. But they did pick up Devontae Adams, so I'm kind of expecting them to like really develop through here. But for right now, I could say under par, because they are kind of I could say under par because they're not really performing at their best right now. And I do think this team will get better overall. Actually, oh no, man, this team is 2-4. Right now I'm gonna say under par, because they're 2-4. They're not really playing as good as they once were. Now, give credit to their defense. Their defense is playing pretty good. As we probably get through the season, their defense is gonna be better. But for right now, I think this team's playing under par level. They have to play better. I think this team is definitely better than the 2-4 record. And plus, we need to see more of their offense. So we're gonna play them under par right now. But that is kind of a hot take there. Actually, no. Actually, no. I'll be nice to them. We'll put them in decent. I mean, they're still a decent football team. I mean, let's be honest. They still have a good offense. They still have a good defense. They're just a decent football team, in my opinion. Next up, we got Arizona. I think Arizona's decent, actually, and I know this team is just 2-4 as well. But if you look at Arizona, I think the record is actually better than what they show. This team showed you. Here's the thing with Arizona. This team showed you that they can compete with high-level offensive teams. Like, when you look back in their schedule, Weeks 1, 2, and 3, they had to, like the beginning of the season, they had to play against really good offensive teams. And I thought Arizona did a really good job of hanging around in there. Listen, this team might, like I said, this team might be 2-4, but I think this team is better than what the record shows. And based on how they perform, like, I know they've been kind of in and out, but I think this team is still a really good, decent football team. They can make some teams uncomfortable. Next we got the Giants. I'm gonna say decent as well. Their defense is picked up these last couple weeks. Now I know they got off to a slow start, but I think they're really starting to pick it up a little bit. I think we're starting to find some little bit of efficiency offensively from these guys. I like the way how we've been looking at them. Love the way how we've been seeing them these last couple days, couple weeks I should say. But yeah, I think the Giants are definitely a decent football team. They haven't looked too bad this year. Moving on, we have Cincy. I'm still gonna say Cincy's definitely an above average team. Like I said, I know Cincy's only 2-4 right now, but come on, their record is this team is better than what the record shows. This team's offense has been unbelievable throughout the majority of the season. Their offense has been dynamic. Now defensively, that's why I can't put you guys in the lead, because defensively you guys have been pretty ass defensively. You guys have been allowing a whole bunch of big plays and stuff. So that's why anybody can score on you. I do think that's the one thing that Cincinnati really has to get their shit together in, is the defensive end of the side. But besides that, I think this team is still an above average football team. Next up, we got the Niners. I'm gonna say above average because at the end of the day, I think this team still has what it takes to get to the next level. Like we saw last year, like with the Niners. I still think they're gonna do really good this year. I still think they're gonna do a lot of great things. But based off right now, I'm gonna say above average. Like I said, I still believe in this team a lot. I think they still have enough. But I think we saw a little bit of what they can be against the 49ers. Against the Seahawks, and they just continue to play like that, and I do. Now, this team has been struggling coming down through the stretch in crunch time. They have been choking some ways. I think this team has choked like 2 games away to the Rams and to the Cardinals. They probably should have won those 2 games, but I still believe in this team. Even though they are 3-3, this team is better than what the record shows. So I still think this is definitely an above average team still. Next up, we got the Steelers. I'm gonna say above average. I think we're really starting to find their identity offensively. I think that this team has been a little bit more consistently on offense as the weeks go by. I think we're starting to see a little bit more of their offense every single week, which is good to see, because the Steelers are not really meant to be an offensive team, and the way how they're putting up offense in these recent weeks is going to give me a lot of credit for it. So not an elite team, because there's still ways that they can be better, but overall I don't think they perform bad. They're 4-2. They're rolling right now. Rolling right now. Mike Tomlin never gives up on the team. They're definitely an above average roster there. Next we got the Chargers. I'm gonna say decent. Chargers. Now, to give credit to the Chargers have actually been playing their asses off defensively this entire season. Now, I know they're 3-2. They got out to a hot start, 3-0, lost 2 in a row, but now they picked it up again. But even though their offense is kind of inconsistent, I love the way that they have been defensively. Just the way they've been putting teams down offensively. And Jim Harbaugh has actually been really good on the running game, also with the Chargers. So definitely a decent team right now. But hopefully we can see a little bit more from them offensively. Like I said, defense has been really good. I think it just really depends on the offense and how they go from there. Next up, we got the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots are ass. They're horrible. I mean, good win against Cincy in week 1, but besides that, they lost 5 in a row. The team hasn't looked too good. Offense looks horrible. Defense looks pretty bad. I mean, there's just really nothing. There's just nothing positive to say over there about New England, and it's kind of unfortunate too, because I thought that win over Cincy, I thought they're gonna build a little bit off of that. Maybe they could be a little bit sneaky. I mean, not. I would ever think they're gonna be a good team, but I'm just saying, like, maybe be a little bit sneaky for a minute, then just go back down. But no, ever since then, they just went back down from there. Next up, we got the Panthers. Unfortunately, the Panthers are still ass, but I would like to give this team a little bit credit. Even though they are ass, this team does a really good job of scoring the football for Carolina. I think their offense has been really efficient so far. So I kind of wanted to put them in the undercard category because of that, because I know I can count on this offense to score points, but they are kind of ass. I mean, like I said, they only won 1 game. Defense has been horrible for Carolina. Probably one of the worst defenses in football right now. Yeah, I gotta go with Horseship, but just because their defense is so bad. But their offense is the only one that's keeping them in the games majority of the times because their offense is capable of scoring. It's just their defense that just always lets them down. Moving on, we got the Jags. The Jags are kind of ass right now. Only winning one game. Their offense took a really long time to get going. I think with the addition of Evan Ingram back there, I do think their offense is going to get better throughout what I'm expecting to see them in the second quarter. But it's kind of unfortunate for the Jags too. Like they have too much talent to be good. Like this team has talent to be good. Like maybe you guys saw when Jacksonville made the playoffs that one year. That's what I kind of expect the Jags going into this year, and now I don't know what's going on with them, but they just been ass this year, man. And it's pretty disappointing because you have all that star power, and they're not just. I don't think they're just using it correctly. Next up, we got the Browns horseship. Their offense is so goddamn bad, and I mean bad. I mean unbelievably bad. Like it's terrible, man. I mean, we don't have to talk about the defense because the defense has been doing their job. It's just the Browns' offense is just so dysfunctional. You just can't even count on the team, man. Like holy shit, dude. I don't even know how this team has a win. If I'm being completely honest, with their offense look as bad as it did. Moving on, we got the Packers. I'm gonna say above average, definitely an above average roster down there. I love the way how basically all the rosters been playing. Jordan Love has been terrific. Wide receiver has been good. Offense has been be able to move the rock a little bit. Defense has been pretty destructive in most recent games. I love the Packers, man. I like their team. I think they're definitely above average. Next we have Houston. I mean, I can only have five in the league. Hold on, I have to figure out who my five in the league is. My league category right now: one, two, three, four. Um, actually, yeah. Yeah, Houston's gonna be my first in the league category. Um, like I said, I normally do put every single time I do a video like this. I normally do put my top five in the elite. Right now the Texans, I think they're elite. They're a phenomenal ball club. Offense has been able to move in shape. Defense has been just fine. Or defense took a little bit took a little bit to get going, but right now I think they are really starting to get the process of the get go now. Team's offense looks good. Love all the weapons that they have. Looks like they're all starting to get chemistry with each other. Defense still has some work to do, like I said recently, but they'll eventually get it together. Moving on, we got the Bills. I'm definitely going to say above average team. I know this team just came back from a 2-game losing streak, but Josh Allen, he's been playing terrific, man. Even though I did say coming to the season this Bills roster is worse, and that's probably still the case. But come on, this team is still really good on paper. Josh Allen, I mean, as long as you have him a quarterback, he will ever give you a fighting chance. And I love the way how their receivers have been stepping up throughout the first quarter of the season, like we've been watching. So definitely like the Bills. I do think they're definitely an above average team right now. Moving on, we have Atlanta. I'm gonna say above average as well. Now Atlanta does make a couple stupid mistakes, and I do think that would have cost him some games. But if you look at their offense in recent weeks, Kirk Cousins doesn't really get going with his connection and with his receivers. Defense hasn't really been the greatest for Atlanta, but I think they're gonna kick it a gear as they continue to get chemistry with each other down there. I like Atlanta a lot. They're top of the division with Tampa, tied with Tampa 4-2. I think this team's definitely an above average roster. Moving on, we have the Ravens. They're elite, definitely one of the better teams in the whole league. Probably the best team in the NFC. I mean, in the AFC, if you're asking me, the best performing team. This team lost 2 games in a row, and it's funny because all Ravens fans, not you guys that are doing the Pick'em challenge, but every single other Ravens fans are just saying their season's over, and then you just got you guys come back and just win 4 straight games. Yeah, the Ravens have looked really good. I do definitely think the Ravens are definitely elite tier team. Moving on, we have the Vikings. Yeah, the Vikings are elite. I have to give it to them. Their offense has been absolutely dynamic. Defense is unbelievably good. Like it's just the way how their defense has been playing, getting sacks, turnovers left and right. The Vikings really making teams uncomfortable. Beat a lot of good teams on a resume too, which I was not expecting them to beat. The Vikings are definitely the elite ball club right now. Moving on, we have the Chiefs, also elite. Unfortunately, now I did want the Chiefs to start losing some games here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. This Chiefs roster is too good. Patrick Mahomes, kind of like what I said about the Bills. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes, he always give you a fighting chance. Now I know this team hasn't been playing the prettiest football, but as long as they continue to keep winning games and find a way to win games, they're always going to be an elite team for me. Moving on, we have Detroit. Wow, it's kind of funny where we had all of my five in the league category right there. But Detroit, definitely the lead team. Can't go nothing wrong about them. Their offense looks like one of the best in football, if not the best in football right now. Defense did just lose 800 since I'm worrying how that goes, how that affects them. But I think their offense will keep them in the game. Their defense has been really good over the first quarter of the season. Love what I'm seeing on Detroit. 4-1. They look comfortable right now. Definitely has them. Definitely a lead team. Moving on, we have the Colts. I'm gonna say decent. Not gonna give the Colts like a really good tier. I mean, you could say because the Colts do have some firepower down there to be a respectable team. I mean, they're 3-3 right now. They're not playing bad football at all. Defense could use a little bit more work, but offensively, love when you're seeing out some of their players down there. They're just a decent football club, man. I just got nothing wrong with that team. Moving on, we have Dallas. Do I do it, man? Do I put him in the actually? Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the under par category. Something just seems odd down there in Dallas, man. Something just seems like it's just not clicking the right direction. One, Dallas is normally really good at home. I don't think this team won a home game yet this year. Two, their run defense, well, their defense in general looks terrible. Like, just look all around the board, their defense is ass. And three, their offense does not look efficient at all. Like, you guys know how we say every single year, Dallas offense is efficient. They can score at a high consistent rate. That's not what we've been seeing this year. I think this is just a really uncharacteristic season of Dallas. I know some Dallas fans are gonna get at me for this, but right now I think your team is under par. Your team has not really been performing that good as it should be this year. Moving on, we have Denver. Denver's a hard one to rank because it is. I mean, they're just fine, but I think they're just kind of maybe getting a little bit chemistry with each other. I'm gonna say decent because they did have some good wins. Their defense is playing some good ball right now. Now when you watch the Denver Broncos, you don't know what you're gonna get out of them offensively. But I will say this team is definitely a well or rounded decent football team. This team is solid. They're decent. Moving on, we have the Seahawks. I'm gonna give decent because they were up here in elite because of the first three games. They looked dominant throughout that stretch. Now they're on a losing streak, not playing as good as they once were. Team is slowing down as a whole. But I do respect the Seahawks. I do think this team you still have to watch out for. There's a lot of players you have to watch out for on this team. But overall, the Seahawks have just not been playing as good as they once were. They're in a decent category. Moving on, we got the Bears. I actually think the Bears are above average, man. The Bears defense is absolutely legit, man. Like the Bears defense has been really good this year. And their offense is really starting to get some connection with each other, which is really good. We saw in the recent weeks, the Bears offense, Caleb Williams getting very connected with his guys on the receiving end. And if the Bears can do that, they can be a really good team here moving forward. But Bears, definitely a respectable team, man. The Bears have been pretty good these last couple of weeks. Their defense has been balling out, and I think this team is actually going to be above average. Moving on, we got Tampa Bay, definitely above average for sure. Can't ever go wrong with that offense. They have too much offensive firepower. Offense probably has been looking one of the better offenses in football too. They just have too many weapons down there. Now defensively, they do have some guys injured, so it's going to be curious what we see in the second quarter as the guys continue to come back for Tampa Bay. See if their defense changes. Now I did see in week 1 their defense was really good when they had their guys, but unfortunately that they got their guys hurt, and hopefully that they can bounce back from that. But overall, Tampa Bay's been a pretty above average team. I'm not gonna say elite right now, but definitely above average team for sure. Moving on, we have Washington, definitely above average team. That team has been surprising to everybody off their hot start, 4-2 record right now. Top of the division, their offense looks dynamic right now. Defense doesn't look the best, but it does look like if you hold that defense, they will find you ways to win football games. Commanders just been one of the most surprising teams in the NFL. And as a kind of a close district to Washington, because you guys know, if you guys don't know me, we're live on West Virginia, so we're kind of Washington. It's actually pretty happy. I actually feel pretty happy for the Commanders fans for all the success they've been going through this year. Definitely a good team for sure. I'm going to say you guys are definitely above average team for sure. Let's see if the Commanders can keep this up. Hopefully they can, but we'll just see. Moving on, we have the Eagles. I'm gonna say just decent right now. Now you guys might call me a little bit crazy for that, but I think that just is what is due. Often Eagles do turn over the football a lot. If you guys haven't seen throughout their first quarter, they do turn over the football pretty good amount of times, and that's kind of holding my like my back edge a little bit. But Eagles, I still think they're a decent football team. Now I know this team has been dealing with some injuries throughout the first quarter of the season, but overall, they just haven't really been like the Eagles team I was kind of expecting them going into this year. Now I am expecting this team to be a lot better going to the second quarter. I'm expecting them to play more efficient football, better football. But right now, I'm gonna put them right now. Right now, they're gonna be in the decent category. But that easily could move. Moving on, we have the Titans. Horseshit. The Titans are terrible. I mean, they only got one win, and that win revolves no quarterback play. The Titans are horrible. It's just plain and simple. The Titans have just not been a good team this year. I think everybody knows that. They just been just complete dog as shit. I mean, they just been horrible. But there's just nothing really going on around with their offense or defense either. Just neither one of their teams are nothing going on down there is consistent. Moving on, we have the Rams. Now I know my Rams have only won one game this year, which is pretty depressing. But here's a fact that you can say about my Rams. I know, like I said, I know the Rams are 1-4. Does that look good? No, but the Rams never got blown out, and even though we got injuries to deal with, and we had injuries to deal with a shitload of that first quarter, the Rams have really done a good job at really competing against anybody who they face. That's why I like this. That's why I like from the Rams. They're competing with anybody in the league. And as long as they continue to do that, I can't put them in the horseshit category. So therefore, we're going to put them in the under par category because they're not playing as good right now. Defense has some holes down there. Our defense doesn't look the best right now. But the Rams, they're competing, man. They're competing, and I do have to give them credit for that. So we're going to put them under par right now. Moving on, we have the Raiders. Raiders are going to go to the under par category right now. I'm not going to call this team specifically as, but I'm going to say they're definitely under par. The offense looks really inconsistent. It looks like some nights they can play offense, some nights they can't play offense. Defense has been a little bit inconsistent themselves. Now, give credit to their defense. Their defense, I do think they really have some good defensive weapons on defense, but just for right now, I'm just going to call this team under par. They just have not been really playing their best for sharp football. All right, last but not least, we got Miami here. I'm going to say under par. Now, like I said, it is kind of unfortunate that this team is also dealing with injuries, but at the end of the day, this team's been under par, and this team I think has the worst offensive football right now. So they do have to get that changed real quick. Plus, I do think they will once they get Tua and all that, and all the people back down there. But overall, this season, I thought they've been on the par. They only won 2 games, going to the second quarter. But let's see how they perform. I can't really judge them just yet because we haven't really seen the version of the teams. Kind of like the Rams, like 2 teams I can't really pick against right now because we just haven't seen their full form of them. All right, guys, and that is going to be my NFL first quarter reviews. Remember, the first quarter was the first 3 weeks of the season. We will do this again after week 12, so make sure you guys come back. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah, that's where we lay off. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop out of here. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe button. Make sure you guys come join us here in just a little bit. We're gonna have the picks video with the subscribers coming up soon. So I do appreciate everybody's support here on the YouTube channel, man. You guys are the goats. This is Baby here, sideofmunition.com. Peace out, stay safe. See y'all in the picks video.